The 1980s, I say, was the turning point of the Marvel animated shows. Back in the 60s and 70s, most series would be similar to their comics, but be tweaked to fit in with that style of TV for the time period, which is one of the reasons why the 1966 Hulk cartoon had a more upbeat and fun opening sequence rather than reflecting the action and more darker elements of the comic, or was influenced by what was popular on TV, Spider-Woman mimicking Wonder Woman's TV show. This was thanks to new writers coming in, notably Michael Reeves, adapting the feel of the comics more closely with changes here and there that enhanced and improved on elements from the comics. The acting also was better.
Look, the Hulk! After him!
For the most part. Incredible Hulk 82 and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends also cross-promoted each other, sharing villains while they ran alongside, which continued on in the 90s animated series.
What's this? Gamma Mutant Day at the Zoo?
Let me guess, big boy. You're the Thing.
The thing that I care about the most, does the show feel like the comic? That's like the biggest thing for me. I'm not against changes. That's why I'm happy with Hulk 82 versus Spider-Woman 79. Another thing that greatly helped, when the 60s shows popped up on TV, the comics for these characters were in their infancy. Now being in the 80s with 20 years back Hulk lore, there's many stories they could adapt or create new stories around all the established lore out there. 60s Hulk had Betty, but was hardly used. She would pop up as a plot point to make Ross stop attacking Hulk or Bruce. Betty is important to Hulk's story, so in the 82 series they decided to make Betty a scientist. It's a big difference, but it allows Betty to be in most situations without having to make excuses on why she pops up. Rick Jones, I understand why the movies cut him out, but then they grafted what he does for Hulk on top of Black Widow. That never made sense. Why not use him then? He's a friend to Bruce after what happened, but that's really all he did in the early days. I know in the comics they made him A-bomb. I still think that's dumb. You get a power, you get a power, everyone gets a power. They didn't change Rick here, they added on to him with introducing new characters, Rita and Rio, for the series. Rita is Rick's girlfriend, with her father Rio, who owns the diner nearby the laboratory where Bruce and Betty work. It gives a reason for Rick to be nearby. Rita becomes another character that knows Bruce's secret, as well as Rio being a comic relief character. But at the same time, he helps out in the episodes. The thing I thought was really interesting, Reeves didn't do the obvious for the first episode. It wasn't Hulk's origin or just a big action piece to introduce us to Hulk. Instead, he used the first episode to introduce us to all the other characters and Bruce. Hulk, of course, is there. He's in the climax, but we get to see everyone else. Bruce, Betty, Rick, Rita, and Rito. Using Doc Ock from Spider-Man was another good choice. They needed a crossover element. Check. And someone who can be a big problem. Check. But not physically overpower them where you don't buy that they can stop the bad guy. Check. Giving Rick and Betty a chance to fight back. That's what made Hulk 82 a step up in quality. The first episode shows the rage of Hulk, but also his hardship and even Rick's hardship.
Hulk trusted you. You trick Hulk.
Rick has to be the bad guy sometimes. Hulk goes out of control, he needs to be calmed down, Rick then has to trick him. Hulk's a danger, but also someone who doesn't want to hurt people. It's that tightrope and relationship between the guys that I really enjoy. That risk every day Rick does to protect both Bruce and Hulk.
I won't run out on you, now or ever.
Of course, there's some things that are not good. Talbot is a big one. They made him the second comedy relief character. Why? Brief background. Talbot is Ross's right-hand man. He will follow all his orders, get things done. He's a very menacing character. He's a little stuck up because he likes Betty. They changed his first name to Ned for a joke, and he's clumsy in the show. Why would you pick him, of all people, to be funny? Rio is already the first comedy relief character, and a new character that you could do anything with. Rio complains about his restaurant not getting much business.
How many customers do we have with advertising?
No, really, Rio? You own a place in the middle of nowhere next to a lab that probably gets attacked daily by supervillains. I don't think lots of people want to come here for coffee, but he still helps save the day in episodes. He gets to use his cooking skills to poison Doc Ock's dumb minions. Ned's change wasn't needed when you have Rio. Hulk's origin changed slightly. They added space aliens trying to find out how the gamma bomb works, replacing the spies in the original version. It's a minor change that I don't really care about, but why do it though? And most episodes were original. Only Doc Ock, Hydra, and Puppet Master guessed as villains. The episodes are still enjoyable. They even did an episode with She-Hulk in it. The series was early enough in the comics where they used the lack of background at the time on why Jen was able to retain her mind as She-Hulk. Bruce wanted to see if he could figure out how to do it too. That was a good episode idea. Spoiler, Jen is able to retain her personality because of two factors. One, she doesn't suffer from two minds. Hulk and Bruce are basically two people in one body fighting every single day on who controls who. Jen is basically Jen. Second, she has lower gamma radiation inside her body, which doesn't impact her emotional state as much. Not to mention, thanks to some future helpful physical and mental training given by Captain America, plus fighting how many monsters and bad guys, she's got stronger over the years and is able to stabilize herself if given enough time. Even when she's overloaded by gamma radiation, she's able to snap herself back. Hear that, Jason Aaron, who doesn't know how to write She-Hulk to save his life? The episode was basically an amalgamation of She-Hulk issue 1 and a post-comic episode. They did a good job. Well, besides changing her origin story to something really stupid. Yeah, being nearly killed by a random gas line explosion is great drama compared to an assassination attempt from Trask. If I had to describe Hulk 82, it was the personality series. The writers went away from older storytelling, focusing more on believability and action. Looking at the 82 series, you can see why the 90 series pushed it even higher, adding the drama to the cartoons.
And you, my caring kin, you don't need any more of that. I'll think about you all the time.
Incredible Hulk 82 is a nice little series. You want to see Hulk defend himself from an army, stop huge robots? You got it here. You want to see Bruce Banner trying to find a cure to Hulk, dealing with the aftermath of his rampages? You got this too. Check out Spider-Man and his amazing friends. They complement each other pretty well. One more thing I need to talk about, the magic clothing stuff. I don't know what went through their minds, but for whatever reason, when Hulk and She-Hulk transform back into Banner and Walters, their clothes magically come back out of nowhere. It's really dumb, but what makes no sense, if you're gonna do this, you might as well do it both ways, and they don't. Thanks for checking out the review. Subscribe if you want to see more, and if you remember a movie or show that's long been forgotten, good or bad, leave it as a suggestion below. I'm always on the lookout for obscured stuff.